Welcome to Flower Juice. My name's John McDonald and today I'm going to show you how to make a luxury arrangement. Now this might be ideal for Mother's Day, or it would be also suitable for going on a table. So the first thing that we've done is we've filled a container with some Oasis. Now I've used 2 blocks, and what I did was I used the container upside down to get the shape and then cut the foam slightly smaller. Now because there's a slight bevel in this container, I used a little bit of florist tape just to hold the 2 blocks of Oasis together. And then because we've got that gap, we can slide in these leaves. Now these leaves, normally you can use things like aspidistra, but on this occasion I used Eucalyptus, which is a really nice greenery with quite a hard leaf, but it's got a nice texture and it's nice and shiny. So we've got that really creating a nice design to hide the foam. And for our materials, I've got some eucalyptus, some ruscus, 2 different types of tulip. We've got this beautiful white lilac, and then I've got a few different varieties of rose. So really it's going to be quite a special arrangement. So the first thing I want to do is add some eucalyptus, and this is easier to put in before we start putting in the flowers. So we're just going to take little pieces and just spread them across the whole arrangement. The eucalyptus is really nice because it has a nice perfume and also a nice colour. The colour is quite sympathetic with the colours of the flowers that we're going to use. So we're really going with really soft, pretty shades of pink, lilac and cream. And this really would be special if you were giving it as a gift for Mother's Day. I'm just putting in a nice little amount of greenery. But don't overdo it, we need to keep a little bit of space for the flowers. And just to create a contrast with this light coloured foliage, I'm going to use a little bit of hard ruscus as well. So the hard ruscus we can just split down into little sections. So, we've essentially created a framework that we can work within. And the first flower that I want to use is the lilac. Now I'm going to cut my lilac, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a guide hole for actually putting the flower in. Lilac can be a little bit fussy, and it can be a little bit fussy in floral foam. So really what I'm doing with the guide hole is meaning that we're not pushing that directly into the foam, we're just taking the stem down to the base where the water is, and it's going to be a lot happier than getting bunged up with the actual foam. So I've just spread them through it. And our first flower that I want to put in is really probably tulips. Now this is a really nice one, it's got a slight frill to it, and it's 2-tone. And there's lots of different tulips that you can get nowadays in lots of different shades. So it's really nice, I think, to have something that's quite seasonal and really enjoy the flowers as they're at their best. Now, no problem with the stems on the tulips because they're really strong. And what we're doing is we're just working as if we're coming from an imaginary point within the arrangement that the flowers radiate from. This will make it look natural. So this is our first ones. And for our second tulip, I've got a contrast. We've got a smaller one, and this is in a cream. And again, I'm just going to work these through so that everything's spaced out. Now you could make this slightly formal by trying to keep everything very compact or very much everything on the same level. But I think it's nice to introduce a little bit of choppiness. It looks more natural and it's easier to achieve, to be honest. So we can have some things up, some things recessed. I love the way that the tulips squeak. I always think they must be clean if they squeak. So actually this arrangement works quite well as it is just now with just the tulips, but you could, I think you can make it more by adding some flowers, some other flowers. So we've got this beautiful range of roses. Now what I've done is I've taken off the guard petals. You're probably thinking, what's a guard petal? It's essentially the outer petals. We just take them off and that cleans up the rose. It doesn't do it any harm, but it will make your rose look more finished. And because we're using different shades, I want to make sure that these are spaced out through the arrangement. So this is going to be quite floral, quite nostalgic, but I think whoever gets the arrangement will absolutely love it. And you can just work your way around. I don't always work with a turntable, but actually a turntable when you're making arrangements like this is so great because it's so easy just to move it around for placing your next flower. You could always add just a couple more flowers if you wanted, but I think in some ways I quite like the fact that it's really just simple. So tulips and roses with that little highlight of the lilac, or the syringa, I think just works really well. Still squeaky, so they must be clean. And there you go. It's as simple as that. Just a simple floral arrangement, really showcasing the beautiful flowers that we're going to present. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. And if you'd like to keep up to date with all our videos, then please subscribe.